Hello and welcome to a new video. We're taking a ride on the Honda Navi in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm starting out here in the Highlands, and I figured something I would do in the city of Louisville, something I've seen a lot of people share posts about, is that the rapper Jack Harlow recently released a new album, and he had taken the album cover photo around town, and it's in an alleyway. And I figured I'd ride through here and just show what that looks like. I'm not, if you know the area, you can probably figure out from watching this where I'm at and going, but if not, I'm probably not going to give away. I mean, you can go find, articles online that explain exactly where it's at, but don't want to cause people undue stress in their day-to-day life because people are going through their alley and taking pictures and videos and possibly destroying stuff. At least this is the back side, so you don't see the address numbers. So this is the garage that the album cover was taken in front of, in this alley here in the Highlands. So not too hard to get to. Nothing special, just an alley. It's a little chipmunk. And now I'm exiting onto Bardstown Road. And considering that I've gone on rides and recorded video on Bardstown Road quite often, I will not re-record a ride going down this road for the umpteenth time. I'll just skip ahead to the next location. Oh, God. Well, traffic's not always safe. Oh. So the truck went through all that effort to get one slight head start on the traffic at that light. And it's pretty windy today. Which I think, somewhat of a trend on the Navi because it doesn't have a big windshield or anything on the front really to break the wind. But now I'm on Melwood Avenue. I was going to ride around a few areas around the riverfront area. I was going to come this way. And it is a beautiful, beautiful day. High temperatures in the high 70s. Sunny. So, you know, it's kind of weather where it doesn't get too hot. It's not really cold at all. Great weather to go outside and do something. Which is part of the reason I'm taking this out for a ride. Then over on the right is the Melwood Art Center. It's a location where a lot of people go to hold weddings or different events, and there's some different restaurants up there like Danny Mac's Pizza and some stores and businesses. And this building over here to the right is Mom's Music, a music store. Years and years ago that used to be a Tumbleweed. And Tumbleweed is, if you're not from the area, a Tex-Mex restaurant. I'm going to go through this way. Looks like it's pretty busy in here today. So this area, there are some soccer facilities, fields. I'm assuming there are, you know, youth leagues that play here or what have you. Oh, yeah, because over to the left, there is either a practice or a game or something going on. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. Guess that would explain all the cars. Then I'm about to come up here to River Road. Which can be somewhat treacherous. Mostly just because people like to do 50 miles per hour plus. Speed limit's 35. And the Honda Navi can only, you know, flat ground, you know, with a rider that's closer to 200 pounds than 100. You know, some mild wind, flat ground. It'll get between 45 and 50. You know, it'll do about that. If you want the bike to do more than 50, you really need a lot of open space, not a lot of wind, and to either be going completely flat or at a decline, so going a little bit downslope, because otherwise it's going to be tough to hit that. So I'm going to go over here to the river, then I'll come back up here. So this is an area where there's like a mountain bike trail and stuff over here. You can't quite see all of it from where I'm at. I'm not going to go take this on the Navi over there because that would not be advised, but you can bring you know, mountain bike up here, and there are some trails that go back in the woods and stuff like that. in this area. So that's worth checking out if you have a mountain bike. I know I've seen people up here bring their kids on dirt bikes and stuff. I don't know if they took them back to the actual trails or if they just rode around over here in the big grass field. Probably the grass field. And then this will take you up to the Ohio River. I'm not sure where all of these paths go. And this bike doesn't really have any off-road capabilities to speak of. But you can see, you know, there's a steamboat going down through here. Somebody on their little personal boat. So you see runabouts, and you'll see barges that come through here, and yachts. And then you see stuff like these steamboats and pontoon boats, stuff like that. So you see, you know, you'll see boats go through the Ohio River, especially when it's nice weather like this. It's probably not weather where you'd want to hop in the river and actually swim. You know, if you want to swim in the river at all. I don't think you want to do it when it's, you know, the 70s and 80s, because the river water will be quite cold, I would have to assume. But, it's, you know, for cruising around, this is great weather. You won't get too hot on the boat. There's just a lot of green space up through here. Now I'm going to take this Navi somewhere, and maybe, I guess I can, because it'll fit. There's this trailer here. I think this used to be some type of concession trailer or something from Metro Louisville. I'm not really sure exactly what it was. If there's still stuff in it. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff down by the river that's interesting looking. Now, this might be somewhat treacherous. Because River Road is somewhere where it's pretty common to come through here and see a group of motorcycles going through. So if you've got a bike, this is an area that can be fun to ride through. Just the word of caution I give, if you have a Navi or Honda Mini Moto, scooter or moped, whatever, you know, if it's a busy day, you're probably okay being able to do closer to the speed limit than not. But you know, if you're able to do 30 miles per hour or something. But on some days you'll get passed by people, you know, even if you are doing 40, and this road is relatively grooved with, you know, potholes and just road wear. So on a bike like the Navi that has smaller tires, there are some areas you don't really want to kind of weave in and out of the lane. You might want to kind of stay in one specific part. So if somebody passes you in one of those areas that makes you move to the left or right, more likely to the right, that could be slightly treacherous. I don't know, they may have smoothed some of this out since last year. I'll go up by the river. One of these parks. And this is a road too where the speed limit is 45. And it's lower for bigger trucks like semis or stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that anybody actually does 35. Because I've had people pass me on this bike where I'm doing as fast as it'll go. So I'm going to turn into Cox's Park. Go by the river. So there's a boat launch ramp here. There are signs of people doing burnouts. People cooking out, doing stuff like that. This part doesn't go to the boat ramp. I guess I'll just have to hop on the sidewalk to go around. Even though somebody's parked directly in front of it. It is something that's, pretty nice being a motorcycle or a, moped, scooter. I guess I'll go around the long way. You can hop on a curb if you absolutely need to. Oh. Now, if you do that in major traffic in front of an officer, you may get questioned or stopped or a ticket or get complained at, but in a relatively sparsely populated parking lot where you're not doing anything that causes any level of danger whatsoever, not as much of a big deal. Yeah, I'll go up to the riverfront. I've probably come through here before, but it's always nice to go look at the river. Especially when you're, if people are coming here to launch their boats, at least on a motorcycle, you can be kind of out of the way and quickly get out and not take up any space or cause problems. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people going around the river. And I guess directly across the river is there's a boat launch ramp in Indiana that I actually went across in the last video. Somebody on a jet ski. Try not to get anybody's way. I think that was fine. I know I've gone for a ride before through River Road and took it all the way down until it goes into Prospect and runs into like Brownsboro Road and stuff. So I'm not going to go the full length of that again and replicate that, but I'll go on a quick little jaunt through the Indian Hills area, then wrap up. Yeah, but on River Road, like I said, you'll see a lot of bikes go through, and then you'll see people go through too on the three wheels, like the Can-Am Spiders and the stuff like the Polaris Slingshot. So you'll see big groups go through, and sometimes on the weekends you'll even see groups of dirt bikes and four-wheelers and such go through. And then you also will get groups of cyclists going through for big group cycling rides. So I would recommend if you go through with the understanding you might need to have a little bit of patience. But then this is going through, Indian Hills, which is a neighborhood I've gone through before. But, it's one of the more affluent neighborhoods in the city. And, they do have speed limits down through here where it's 25 miles per hour. And they have some of the digital signs on the side of the road that read your speed and show what you're doing. That looks like somebody hit a possum, unfortunately. Yeah, as you can see up here on the right, there's the sign that reads your speed. And the limit's 25. So I have gone through here before and seen people on bicycles going through group rides since the speed's relatively low and, somewhat enforced. And then on a bike like this, it's fun just to cruise through. You're not being rushed. It's just, sometimes you come through here, you'll see deer, other wildlife. So I think before when I'd come through, I would just follow the road going straight through. This time I'm going to go through this neighborhood. This is an area that's pretty close to the riverfront, but it's also elevated enough. You're not likely to really get flooding here if the river levels rise. There's a lot of really cool homes. An area that I'd be glad if I could afford to own a home here. But I could see the appeal to this area is somewhere to go through on, a normal bicycle or e-bike ride or group ride. Because there are a number of hills, but theoretically this isn't going to have a huge amount of through traffic in these back neighborhoods, and the speed limit is relatively low. Not sure where all these go. I didn't really think this route through before I went for a ride, so I'm just kind of winging it. because eventually this will come through to the other parts of the neighborhood. And it is interesting is this neighborhood is called Indian Hills in a lot of the road names. So this was Bow Lane that we just passed. So a lot of the names are very kind of stereotypical things related to Indians / Native Americans. Whatever the most proper nomenclature is. But yeah, so there's a lot of roads back there that have, names that you would very much expect to see people name stuff, 50 years ago. Maybe not so much today, but yeah, because that's Bow Lane that goes through there. Got a line of cars behind me, apparently. It's funny, even in neighborhoods where they have relative. Oh, and there's like Totem Road. We're on West Wind Road, so that naming convention kind of stays with all the roads. But yeah, it's just funny that even in neighborhoods where you have relatively slow speed limits and it's pretty strictly enforced, people still don't really like to hold to it. And this is Old Brownsboro Road. I believe if you keep going, it'll cut back into Brownsboro Road. So I'm going to go this way and then wrap it up. And it's Indian Hills Trail that I'm turning onto. So yeah, on these videos, I know I've gone through, recent videos. I went to Chickasaw Park, and I went to, Southern Indiana, and Preston Highway, and Dixie Highway. So I like to kind of mix it up and not only go to kind of higher end, high income neighborhoods when I go for rides. I also like to go to other parts of town, places, I grew up or would go when I was a kid, or, things like that. So, and I don't necessarily live in a super wealthy zip code or anything. It's just, I think it's interesting to go through a city and see all the parts of it. And, I haven't gone to some of the more rural outskirts of the area, but part of that's just because on this Navi, since you can't take on the expressway, it just takes forever to get to some areas because you have to go on side roads or go way out of the way. I don't really feel like going on a 3-hour ride all the time. And this will take me back out to the entrance road that comes into Indian Hills. This is a pretty cool road with with the shade in the fall and the winter. It looks a little bit different because most of the trees are bare, so there's more light covering the road. There's a private drive. I'm sure it goes up to a pretty swanky house. Same thing here. And that's a private road, so I'm not going up that. There's a few speed bumps. Oh, here are some deer. I'll try to go through slowly and quietly to not upset them. Sorry, deer. Sorry. Yeah, I would have just kept going, but there was a speed bump there, and I don't want to get thrown off the bike. Yeah, so that was looping through the Indian Hills neighborhood, just part of it. I mean, there were more roads I didn't go through, more areas I did not explore. There's like TP Road. The road that was just on the left was TP Road, so a lot of names that seem like they may have gone with different choices if they were naming all that today. So it's just a kind of nice, calm area to go through on a ride. And then on the bonus, if you go through here, you're not too far from the river, so if you do want to go up to the river, it's not very far to get there. Poor possum. Now this is a road where, you know, like I've said before, the speed limit's 25 miles per hour. They do enforce it a little bit. I have had people before I've gone through here doing the speed limit, so doing, you know, at least 25, people pass me. Oh, sorry, I just had to cough there. Now the only tricky part about being on a motorcycle is when you try to exit this area, if you go out this way, when you get to the stoplight, if you're on a bike, and you want to turn left, it may not be heavy enough, the bike may not be heavy enough to be recognized, and you'll just be left sitting there for forever. Which can be a tricky situation. So that's the kind of light where oftentimes what you need to do is you need to pull up a little bit past the stop markers and then hope the car behind you pulls up. So to wrap things up, I'll go over here and check out this Patriots Peace Memorial, which this parking lot is actually for a golf course, which I am not golfing. I guess I can ride this on the sidewalk. It's just a little bit. Because it's a memorial that's in honor of soldiers who died during peacetime, so not at war. So I'll pull the, if you're interested in how this works, you have essentially the e-brake on the left, where you can help engage the brake line so you don't roll off. Yeah, but this is the Patriots Peace Memorial. And then from within the memorial, it kind of overlooks this pond that's over here. Then it has bricks replaced with clear glass with names on it in memory. And it says this memorial is dedicated to those United States military personnel who gave their lives in the line of duty at times other than those of declared hostile action. So like I said, not when the country's at war, but at times of peace. So yeah, and this is down River Road if you want to come check this out. This memorial and pay respects. But yeah, so that was taking the Honda Navi. Started out going through the Highlands area to check out the alley that was used as an album cover for rapper Jack Harlow's new album, and then Went through some areas down here on River Road, kind of along the Ohio River, went through Indian Hills, then came back here to the Patriots Peace Memorial, which is down here on River Road. But yeah, that'll wrap it up till next time. Later.